Shalom, praises to Yahweh.
No, you go for it.
Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakah Kadash. Don't want to see apostles and elders, very millstone, well, Shalom to the brothers doing the right to serve truth. Yeah, we're out here once again, you know, another week, basically prophesying the end of this current rulership, man, the end of this current kingdom, and how, hey, it's all going to go down in fire. You know, now we're essentially seeing on a week-to-week basis, furthermore, the prophecies being pushed. We've had for the longest the war, the Ukraine war, Russia-Ukraine, and you had like a few weeks back, like Ukraine being told their NATO membership would get like an express pass or whatever, fast track, that's the term. And then like through last week, you had through the past week, you had Russia basically closed down the grain export that they agreed to like a while last year, I believe. They agreed to like grain export, allow grain to leave from Ukraine without getting swatted down. But lo and behold, it's now they basically put into that. So they're meant to be doing like the Iranian man them were doing when men were trying to move through the what do you call it? Out of the Middle East. They're just like you know, pulling up on them and either shooting at them or you know, taking them over.
Either way, that's so funny, you know. Scared me, look like, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, who the fuck are you, man?
Yeah, and with the, you know, the grain, that was the last time that was restricted and the price of everything shot up. It's funny because there was a few things where the price shot up, like over being inflated, people can make money. And then even after, I remember it happened with the petrol as well, where the oil prices went down, but the petrol prices didn't go down straight away. So we see people might try and use it to just inflate prices. And hey, it's already cost of living prices, mortgage prices, it's peaking. The interest rate's been going up. I think it went up again in the US. And hey, the mortgages, that's going to put a squeeze on them. So we're seeing various aspects of how, hey, the squeeze is going to be felt. And now it's essentially the point where what the reality is, it's, you know, there's no reprieve, man. There's no break coming. It's not going to hold up. It's not going to slow up. Now it's essentially become normalized. By and large, most people are just kind of used to it. But then, hey, that's how fucked it is. It's funny because with like essentially from the end of the 90s, it's like getting a house. Getting your foot on the property ladder over here in the UK has become like a myth. Before you could be working at Tesco's, you know, two people working at Tesco's, well, one at Tesco's, one at Morrison's, then you'll still be able to get a down payment within a couple of years or so, maybe 2 or 3 years. Now it's like you're expected to save for like up to a decade to be able to afford it. So hey, the lifestyle's all coming to an end. And that's the thing, a big part of why people even come to this country, of why people think the West has the appeal it has, is because of the lifestyle it offers.
Really, America is ultimate. That's the greatest standard. That's all right. That's at the peak of you say America. That's why they have the American dream. Everyone, even you got people over here, they want to run over to America. So they want to make money over it. There's greater open market in terms of, you know, things, money to be made. Alright? But America is circling the drain at this present moment.
Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. But the devils come down onto you, having great wrath, because we know it. They have to proclaim. And yeah, that's essentially what we're in the midst of. That great wrath basically being brought down. The fact that being in a state of, crisis, various forms of crisis, at every turn, that's not a state of normalcy. That's a mess. How are you, the very least, you're on the planet Earth, you're meant to be able to go out and settle down, find a wife, have some kids, find a place to stay. That's the bare minimum for just fucking existing on Earth. But that's something that can't be had, because why? Hey, everything's coming to an end, man. It's approaching that climax, that final act, man. Who's not watching? Oh, watching. Something talking about baseball, man. Someone out of the side. Don't let the fat lady singing reminded me of what is it? Yeah. Independence Day. And that's really it. It's as far for America. The fat lady's been hitting every note for the last few years. Because even with the what's it called, the fiscal cliff, the US debt, it was like the last 2 times they've been arguing to where the government was shut down. A man was just out there not getting paid working and not getting paid for a good little while. These things, all these different crises basically show, it's heating up, man. Had it in mind. You asked me Habakkuk 2 and 5, it says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth a hope, who enlargeth his desirous health, and is as death, cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And yeah, that's when we're dealing with the modern Western world. The way it's been built up and developed is by going and pilfering other nations, man, mobbing other nations for their goods, and then that's essentially how it's become a centralized financial hub. But with that animosity built, all these different nations now they're what? They're all ready to take a chunk, man. That's why with this current Western world, the key form of how how they finance themselves is that debt, man. That thick clay, man. Those heavy debts. That's the key way the pattern of Western world of basically money being used. And it's funny because I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like debt is the money of the poor. It's the currency of the poor. So it's basically everyone on the lower rungs of society indebted, but then what? The people at the top, they're the ones, they're making financial investments. They already have money. They're slamming bucks on top of it.
Gold is the money of kings, silver is the money of gentlemen, barter is the money of peasants, and debt is the money of slaves, supported by Roman France, and we're in a debt-based society. Basically, you can't, without indebting yourself to society by use of credit, you can't thrive in this society. The banks won't give you a loan, they won't allow you to do certain things on a general level. right? There's certain people within society that are allowed to maneuver because they have a surplus of wealth. So they can basically walk outside of the needs of normality and use some debt. But that really distinguishes them from what? Kings, gentlemen, right? Real kings. No, that's not. Don't read it. I'll read this one. This is Proverbs 11:1. A fool's balance is an abomination of the Lord Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. Right? And this man, Edom, right? The devil the Bible speaks of, otherwise known as the so-called white man. What he's done is he's flipped turned the earth upon his head. Right? The Lord said that surely you'll turn things upside down, shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Right? And what's going to happen to the potter's clay? It's going to be smashed in the ring. Right, so everything this man has set forward and appointed is going to come to naught. Now, and in saying that, one of the main reasons is because it's not sustainable. It's designed to be destroyed. Right, I talked about the clay, it's being a theme. Spoke about being a theme of clay. Alright? Another, really, another speaking of the word of the potter's clay is that of what this kingdom that we're in. It's known as the feet, alright, the statue of all the heathen nations that rule. And it says the feet were mingled with iron and very clay, alright? Miry clay, should I say. So the two of them, they don't work together. Basically, what that iron should be, they don't mix it. That's right, they don't mix it, alright? So the fact that they don't mix it, but you're right. But basically, the coming together of the two compromises the foundation that's meant to be there in those own iron. So it shows you that all this, golden head of Nebuchadnezzar is all built on, foundations of, ill-gotten gain and stuff that made you last. And that's why ultimately it's going to be taken out, right? Because things of this nature, using debt as your main form of finance, isn't sustainable. Right? Basically, you have to dig a bigger hole. That's why they keep saying about interest rate going up, and we've got to buy our way out of debt. So basically, it's just what Esau's telling me is to, get your spade out, your shovel, and dig deeper, and make sure you're throw the dirt in your own head. Like it's someone on the side of the hole. Yeah. That's like Looney Tunes. They used to have that. But if you're digging a hole, then it will go out and land in someone else's hole. Yeah. But that's the reality of how it is. Because you look at it's like 24 trillion, something like that. Yeah. Maybe 25, 26. But it's like at the level where there's no possible conceivable manner of it ever being paid off. But that's the nature of the system. The system's built in a way where it's temporary. It's going to be around for a while, but then it's going to be gone. It's not made to be short. And that's really the bulk of how this rulership is essentially going to be around, man. It's going to be here, so it's not going to be around for long. Because if you consider just like, go back 10 years before that, it becomes clearer and clearer. It's like, it's a steep decline. But then people will think because of, technology, various developments that happen along the way, they think they're in a better stead. I'll read this. Isaiah 14, verse 4, it says, Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindered. Yeah, that's the reason why none of the nations is white.
they've all been they're basically all there like, yo, we've been fucked over, man. We've been receiving some margins, like we had a good stake in that. They're like, there might be some precious ancient goods they had where it's been taken. There might be resources. They're selling us like what was it, Congo, I believe, is one of the top places where
They make
they mine, was it cobalt? I think it's cobalt, which is key for like all these electric vehicles. When you consider that, oh yeah, any form of lithium ion battery, anything battery, well, pretty much every electronic device is like battery based anyway. They're all like wireless, it's all that internet of things, etc.
and that's where everything's headed. So that's why it has command status in the world to come.
Yeah. So there was, I just read an article talking about some Singaporean electric vehicle producer just went on to the Nasdaq, and they became like one of the more valued than like Ford and one other General Motors or whatever. They're basically becoming one of the most valuable car companies just off the back of making electric vehicles. Someone was posting like reviews of their cars, saying the cars are shit. They developed in like 2 years, when most people say like 5 years is an electric vehicle. But because of the hype, because of the bubble, because everyone knows now, oh, this is where everything's going. They're making hella money. It's like with the metaverse. Everyone knows it's anyone with any actual clue on how technological development goes knows it's just a matter of time. Because with Apple, what they did, their headset, I can't remember what it's called, maybe Apple Vision or whatever. Yeah. But their one was like augmented reality, where you'll have, like, you don't have to have a TV, then it will just project like in the glow, you see like the movie on the screen or whatever. It's basically, rather than just doing full on like VR, like with the original metaverse, the Facebook metaverse. With the Facebook metaverse, it's interacting with reality somewhat. But they're basically trying to get the angle, because once they essentially look within the metaverse, then they'll basically be able to control it however they will. And this is the thing, is people always invest in that technology. They did a performance where it was like augmented reality, where they're projecting it. They have like these little glass cubes, again, where you'll be able to project like 3D things within them. That's like they did the two-pack performance, like providing that technology has been developing as well. So all these things are essentially progressing, and it's essentially what? A means of control. Because once it's fully digital, then it's completely controlled. And then with the means of AI as well, that's when they take the reins of it. They can basically have it where, we'll be able to set the rules. Whatever you ask AI for something, like even if you're getting a homework thing, you have to have the prompt and like the store of like reference material it's looking back to. So you can basically set the parameters and get the kind of response you want. They said like ChatGPT was leaning left, like politically, because of who developed it. It's left, because of the information they're going to go to, everything that's going to carry over. And that's the same with all these different forms of AI. The people who develop them, the people who train them, that influence is going to be felt down the line. Because why? It's man-made. But that's why you're going to see whatever however they look to shift the culture around it, they're going to have the means to do something. Because the main thing they said, I remember like the main thing what's his name was talking about, Elon Musk was talking about, saying, when AI gets smarter than people, that's when, it becomes a risk. And that's what he's saying, you need to merge of AI.
And that's why they're really saying that as an incentive for you to fight, basically to come over the system so they can keep tabs on you. Because ultimately they want everyone to take that seed, that micro seed in their hand or in their body in some way, so that you're merged with the system and they can tagging your movements. So if you go out to buy anything, that's why now with the content pages, everything is tracked. They can, if someone's or lose your card or they use it or you can serious payments, you can count it instantly and they can track down who's using it. That sounds a good incentive. And then manipulate and pull into their good. A highlight, a glimpse into that in the movie Minority. This guy had the cookies on his implant that was showing certain things you're going to buy this, suggesting things for him to buy, giving him prompts. And then ultimately, he was subject to what? A future brand, right? And that's something that technology they're working on right now. They had a technology, they got an algorithm that works right now to basically read your mind through your engagement or your reactions to it. So they give you certain music to listen to, and they judge it according to your reactions and all those kind of things, your bio readings. They basically gauge, they only said facial expressions, but obviously you can be dealing with bio readings and things of that nature. They basically determine what's going on in your mind, right? So they'll form an algorithm that they'll see when someone walking down the road, and they'll say, oh, this is someone like this. And then lo and behold, you're getting backed up and thrown into prison, and all they're saying is what? Oh, you showed characteristics of a terrorist, and you were doing this. Because even with ultimately, just to say this point, ultimately what they're trying to do is to put their finger on who's Israel. That's the main reason. That's the core. They want to make sure there's no coming back, there's no Israelites present from the earth that can basically put them out of their blessing, being forwarded, right? And when I say forwarded, to be kept in its place.
Yeah, with the profiles, that's something they already do with online. It's like the guy that was posting secrets on like Discord, military secrets on Discord, like they'll profile him. Like, oh, who does he talk to? What these chaps talking about, etc. They have all those things. It's like if you like certain things on Facebook, there's certain things where you go on the dark web format to buy drugs, guns, essentially illegal activities. So there's, by and large, there's what you call it. All these systems, there's a prototype. There's essentially like a framework, a skeleton framework of how they're going to run down the line. But then it's what they're all separated. What Esau's trying to do is bring them together into one system. And that will become easier and easier as time goes on. So even now, you have like Apple ecosystem. People they'll have an iPhone, they'll have a MacBook, they'll have an Apple Home, they'll have a smart Apple Watch. Yes, Apple Watch. They'll have all these different technologies all bound in. So you can be doing like, you might have a phone call on one thing, you might have a video call and then you have it on your iPhone and then switch it on your MacBook. It's the same with like all these different systems, their ecosystems, like Amazon, with like the Fire Stick, Alexa, all these different things.
Apple was really
Apple's like the main one, because they've kind of got with the iPhone, that was essentially the start of like the whole smart devices, and that's really been the key one everyone looks to is like, okay. So, okay, let me read on. So it says, Isaiah, well, do you have something on that? Isaiah 14:6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet, they break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. And stirreth up the dead for thee, even the chief ones of the earth. They have raised up the thrones of all the kings of the nations. Who they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? there was a point in the war, there's been that point in time, even now, really, they're looking at Esau like he's still exceptional. But that's something where it's basically the scales will fall off the eyes more and more as time goes on. Because they're still looking at him like, oh, this is the same guy. This is the same guy. Essentially, there was a time where Esau had ultimate dominance. But now what? America's looked at as a joke. When you deal with even English tourists, they're some of the least like tourists, man. When the English people go overseas, people are all these ignorant fucking people. Same for America. So they're not, before they would have been thinking of like a guy in his suit, with his top hat, and his umbrella, on the train.
You know, with the umbrella and all that. They don't think about it like that. The splendor, the demeanor of the you know, Esau leader is basically is self-grace,
Yeah. Because they were once reverenced, but now they've basically been revealed. It says what? Thy pomp, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the ground, no, to the grave, and the noise of thy violence. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Yeah, what the worms do, man? They break down now. So it can, become food for the soil. Essentially what? You're being broken down to become the foundation of the He said what? We're going to sever out men of continual employment. We're gonna basically put Esau to work, man.
Like going back to the time of Joshua, where it says that Joshua said he was the wood and throw the water. That was a metaphorical way of basically saying what? We're gonna make you snakes. We're gonna make you use wood. We're gonna make you draw water. That was the latest and fast. So that's the same thing that's gonna happen on this side, dealing with the outcome of the society at this time right now. Because this place is on its way out, right? It's very evident a lot of people are struggling and they're really putting up a good front, hoping that, really being up what they say, 20, that was such a time, or 2018, the time before the pandemic. When you really think about it, it was definitely a simpler time, but there's no going back. We're here now. And if anything, it's only going to get worse. 5 years from now, if we're here 5 years from now, we're going to look back and say, man, that was easier, that was a simpler time, man. You could pay cash to get on a bus, or you could pay cash to get a train ticket, or put up with the way, you could go to the bank and cash it in. And now we're going to be like, in that time, we're going to be saying, oh, it's just continuing to get worse, worse, worse. All right, that's the trajectory of things as it stands at the moment.
Even with cultures can see. And we're dealing with cinema's a good one. That's been the golden child. The golden child of thinking.
Usually a little one. Just to jump in. Like, remember, me, one, the other, we live together. Every week we go to cinema. There was a cinema in there where we lived. We lived in the same place without saying too much. But like £4 for a ticket and £4 for a mega, a large bucket of popcorn and a large drink. So it's like under a tenner, you're going out and having a good time kind of thing. It's some stuff to pass time with. There'll be some girls around, kind of some, a bit of what's that word? Not an environment, not attraction. It's right there. Ambience, maybe, is another word. That's my spirit. It's not managed. Second, I was like, how's this going, man? You're like, no, you're being too sick, man. like, God damn, God. A few things that's out there, but it's more or less it ain't the same kind of vibe.
That was boy, it's died over time. Think wrong. Like, oh, endgame. But then what brought into that is what was funny enough. Well, there's a quote, there's a line from Doctor Strange where he says, well, we're in the endgame now. And real talk. Once the endgame hit, it's hey, it was washed. Basically, our whole spirit came to an end, man. That's why now it's nowhere near nothing. And then that's just the general cinema. We're dealing with music as well. Music's became to a point where it's nowhere near the same quality you would have had in prior decades, man. We deal with various forms of art media. It's funny because football's a good example, man. When you deal with like early 2000s, there was some of those legendary World Cups, man. And even the teams, like the Premier League, was living up to its name, man. But it's like, what's happened now? It's like the sheer volume of money that's gone into it. It's like the passion's not the same, man.
Saturated, yeah, the talent level.
It's the same with like you watch, and it's just like it's not the same. There would have been like pride for a certain team. I might have rolled with someone just to be like, yo.
Right. Well, right now, women shop is far from mine. England, they're in the war.
Oh,
The Lionesses, they're in the finals of the World Cup. They're playing tomorrow. But then football's really going to come on from the UK. UK from England. Right? And that just shows you that there's been a real shift. Right? That's really prophetic because the Lord did say what? A woman shall come past the man. So really it's going to hit, it's going to crescendo. Because why dealing with the women thing as a point, that it has to peak at a certain point, and then what's the word? It peaks and then what?
you have a reception and
It peaks and then it flaps out. Something like that. I can't remember. But basically it's gonna come to move, right? But in that, it just really shows you that they're gonna come to that really shows you what's going on. That everything with bread and circus and things like that, they ain't the same. Like you have crazy talent levels right now, even with the NBA for example. But it's nothing like the golden era, where you deal with guys like Dr. James, right? Rivalries, like even college basketball, dealing with America. You don't have that same level, that same caliber of talent and talent, but what's often, you know, and of that kind of feel. College basketball is highly esteemed at one point. When you have Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, it really started to wane when you had in the 90s, when you had the time of people skipping college and going straight to the league.
yeah.
Guys like Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, Kevin Garnett basically coming into the league, and then it's followed by guys like Kobe, Tracy Brady, right, so on and so forth. And it really didn't see it with LeBron James, right? But now, you don't have that college basketball ain't nothing, man. No one ain't really sitting there thinking, y'all need to watch the final floor March Madness and all that kind of stuff. They don't really care. I mean, American football kind of has that, you know, that feel, right? They still got that kind of, because
That's localized to
America.
Yeah. It's funny because the World Cup. I think that's great. Said like, America
don't really, they only get into that market
millions.
now.
Yeah, they get millions doing the Super Bowl, but then it's like 3 billion plus, 3.5 billion, 4 billion watching World Cup because that's global.
But all it does is it really shows you that within itself, America has a lion's share of the world's market. They make a lot of money, right? So much so they can afford to be where the World Cup. Whereas all the other nations, they make a real effort to establish themselves But the talent, a lot of the talent can really be found in where? South America, Central and South America, right, the West Indies, and also where Africa, those key nations in where Israel is, Jacob, right? But then where there's most of the great teams that actually succeed and trophies come from, European nations, right? Because they really important to their blessing up by them. And but that's the main thing, it's part of their financial gain and also a part of the way they're presented to the world. Right? That's part of the main thing because it really dispels the whole idea of what Jacob being superior physically. Right? Whereas a lot of people don't really understand that a lot of these European nations have Jacob within them. Right? As whether they be Jake that might, their parents migrated to those lands at a certain point, alright, basically took on that nationality, or it may be that the people that grew up in that land, or maybe natives that they say to that land, they actually go back to Jacob, the Dark Ages and stuff. Yeah, just like a lot of people don't know, Spain, alright, was formerly known as what? The Iberian Peninsula, as was island known as Iberia. Right, Hibernia, sorry, which also goes back to what they both go back to the word Hebrew, right? Because Hebrew, when you go into the book of Jonah, right? Sorry, Jonah is Jonah, sorry. When you go into the book of Jonah, mine is like, you're envisioning the page, and I can't see it in my mind, so I'm like, Jonah, but I know it's there. Basically, at the book of Jonah, he went down to the dock, down to the seaside, and said, "Yo, get me on a boat to Tarshish." He was going to mess with his family, his cousins and them, down over there in Spain. We're going, chill over there and go get some, oranges, soak up the sun, basically enjoy the what's that time in the middle of the day? The siesta. He's trying to go over there and siesta out. But the Lord had other plans. But that shows you that those lands have ties to Israel. And that's why he has our talent over there. But it looks like Esau. Right? But the main point is that these things are really, they're greater than what America has. And really, they're fooling our favor. They're even trying to get in on it. Read this. Ezekiel 20:4. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten riches, hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasure. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Then wisdom, traffic. That's how that riches have been gained, that business. And that's really cornerstone of the modern Western world, man. Having stock markets, having financial hubs, basically having incentives for people to set up businesses in and around the country, certain countries. That's a great part of how the West essentially dominated the world, man. And then even like with culture, like with the movies we spoke about, Hollywood, that's a business. That's a big business. That's one of the greatest businesses on the face of the planet Earth right now. You could have one movie make like $2 billion like globally. I think it was even the what was it? Was it Amazon? Avatar. I think it was the old Avatar, the original one, made $2 billion. And I think Endgame as well made $2 billion. So it's these that money is tied up in it as well, man. That's a big. That's a big portion of the strength of the West. And hey, that's basically being what's the word? Exported out as well, man. Consider with like brands like Coke, Pepsi, whatever.
know, you go any country on the face of the earth, you're gonna be able to find a code. Other than I don't know, fucking Cuba. But anywhere that's not sanctioned, these guys can operate. It's like there was that map. There was that map of like McDonald's as well around the world. It's those huge brands where it's exporting, it's making money, but then also influencing over the people. So now, especially with the internet, it's multiplied. Where it's like people go on TikTok and you'll have the same culture being pushed out by like a very small portion of the world, by hitting people globally, man. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all these apps. You log in, then you're getting that same global feel, man. So it's centralized culture into one spot.
Yeah, that's why even now, right now, it's like very funny because there's a lot of Americans that are like prominent in the UK now. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people that they're the ones that like they look after the woman and intelligent with the revelation. You're like looking at even I had that before where it was not until I went out there a few times where it kind of wore off and I kind of realized that the place ain't nothing special. It's just the way it's been Hollywood marketed with it. And we know the word Hollywood goes back to the witchcraft deal with Hollowwood, right? Being the one that the druids and things of that nature would be hollow. They basically cast their spells on the people, right? To make them think of certain time. When you go over there, I remember when I was out there, I'm like, and you know when you're looking at the ratings, like, wow, you see these ratings in the news. Well, that looks like a crossway, like, you know when you're like, everything you refer to, like, I've seen so long on the TV, finally there. But it's realized as time goes on, there's a lot of stuff outside of like over there in Europe that I can look to and say it's better than America. The one thing I'm definitely with America is there's a lot more fun, there's a lot more, it has to be like that, you know what I mean? It has to be exciting. That's what I'm talking to. Yeah, there's a lot more distraction. And even like it's like these creative things, mix of nation, boil down to shit. Really. Like one of the things out there, going on the country, I'd say too much about it. But whereas like the crowd, the breakfast, organic food. Yeah. Even I need to go waste of time. This is what my thing. When they had tomatoes, like cooked, never knew the fuck. I just couldn't ever imagine like that out here. Yeah, but normally like people be looking at the fucking wrong people. But that food over there is really rich. It doesn't help me, so I'm sure I had a stomach bug or something. I was overindulgent.
Second Thessalonians 2 and 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. That's the flip fact, man. The way to exemplify that is the Sistine Chapel, man. With what's meant to happen. like essentially embedded within the cultural zeitgeist, as they call it, man. People just think if you mention Jesus, you mention God, that's an image that's going to come in their mind. So what does it say? Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now you know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. But yeah, the mystery had already worked back then. And it's what now we're in the time when in Revelation it said there'll be the deadly wound, and the wound will be healed, man. With coming a second leg, where that same Roman Empire has essentially been resuscitated, man. That beast has been brought back, it's been zapped back to life. And it's essentially enacted the same system of rule. It says what? And then, verse 8, and then shall that wicked be revealed, and the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness which is coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. Yeah, that's a key part of what keeps the people in front. So, yeah, because with what you mentioned about, that, the law, Hollywood's a big part. Different forms of music as well. It's like, what do you call it? Like hip hop became one of the greatest American exports through like the 2000s.
And even when you go before that, you go back to like things like you could go before rock and roll, jazz music. Yeah, the guys like Thelonious Monk, he wind up with a rock child. How? Because the music was so monstrous that it ate up everything at that time. Just like you have music from today, alright? She basically made a great omission of her benefit as a rock child to inheritance, but just to be with this man. And that was part of the reason they say that weed was bad, because they said it makes white women want to sleep with black people. And that was part of the heavy weed culture. So it's like these kind of subcultures, they have the same spirit. There's drugs, there's Jake, there's white people. And then it's basically don't, it's like it's an instant success. It's an instant success. It's like an instant concoction for destruction, basically. Where Esau's going to say, something. Jazz music, same thing, rock and roll, disco, house, all of these things that basically, they suck up everything in the world and they become great exports. Even with the UK over here, we do our music over here, through imported as well, it's imported from America. Well, a few of them, I say music like one, house, like Gary. Then you have things like very house, garage, real, even rap, would you say? Grimy. That's what you say. No. Invented that. That's all America. Oh, yeah. Like house music, garage music. Garage, grimy from garage. It's a mix of dancehall, garage, and rap music. Different kind of something. But like, yeah, you have a lot of them, export their culture. Even when you deal with fashion, a lot of exports from over there. But now it's like shooting. A lot of hard fashion now. But that's neither here nor there. The main thing is what you say about now with rock, yeah. Now with the mind wonders, culture ties into that. It's like you consider like Harry Potter has become a super heroic, like legendary piece of culture.
Whereas like to this day, people still do tours. They still sell like
Going
the
to King's
scarves.
Cross.
They'll still
Go
have
to
like
platform 9 and a half.
They're all it's
I
basically
used to
become
work
like
near there and they'd be like, where's the station? I'd be like, nah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you put that.
Yeah,
Probably got that as well. You over there, yeah.
Well, you can just tell they have scarves on
Yeah.
for like the different houses and whatnot. But that's why it's like it's become like legendary piece of culture. It's like even like Nirvana, there's certain bands and whatnot. Those things will become like bound up in like the allure of why people look to America like, damn, like yo, I wanna visit that place. What inspired such greatness? But then, what's the reality? It's just a spot on the earth. Just like same with London. Having grown up, born and raised in London, the way people look at
Yeah,
talk
when they
about
come over here. Yeah.
wow.
So like when I went down to, I told you like I don't think I told you. When I did something. But I went to, on that week I went to Trafalgar Square.
Yeah.
Where Odeon.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I went to Leicester Square. For people that come over here now, they may think that's the most popular place to go. But it's not the same.
yeah, it's first, man.
It's not the same. There's no, like the scene, like Jake as well, they used to go clubs, they used to go to, I remember when I first turned 18, we were going out there, like slugging letters, go to different bars, girls drunk with, be like, yeah, let's go to the clubs over there. And then you smell like a cigarette, and you're allowed to smoke at the club sometimes, remember? I don't know if you went out next time.
No, I remember.
Come back here and be like, I'll buy you phone.
I think by the time I was leaving there,
Maybe you should have come back.
I needed you, why would you need me? You're real every day.
Remember, I'll come back.
That's why I ain't come
I
out.
think Chanel was around. Come back. And then I'll be like, but like, there was a whole, like, over in the city. I was like, he's working, I think. What's the word? So, you think it's cool, but now it ain't the same. It ain't got the same kind of vibe.
because like even with like the key spots like Oxford Street, it's washed out.
And as well, because there's a lot of pretentious
Yeah.
behavior going on. As when you sure it'd be like, you could go out and enjoy yourself, whatever you want. But because there's a lot of this social media,
money,
attention, money and all that type of stuff, people want to do things they can't even afford. Saying that, it's funny because I see a video about table manners, like how you need to translate message to a way, like as a whole fucking culture. See, I don't know that shit. And I don't care for it. I'm reading the comments like, this is culture. Some people say, like, notice something.
Yeah, but like you're
No,
begging,
that's,
bro.
that's,
You're
no,
begging.
I'm not saying that's
Oh,
people
well,
that come from it.
Yeah, no, but
What I'm saying is people come no, there's people that come from it saying that stuff. But then I was thinking, yeah, that's right, it's you. But
Yeah.
the people that are trying
Yeah.
to I've seen people go on their stage and they're drinking wine, going to go wrong, don't know about sharing wine and things like, you're going to take the acidity and things of that nature. That is a whole science to it. But it's because people want to they want to do it for they used to say do it for the wine. They want to do it for the gram now. They want to be on socials and show that, I've achieved the finest thing, attained the finest thing in life.
They're trying to get to you.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine.
It's really that. It's like they're looking at like, yeah, this is how life should be lived or something, or how they want their life to be led. But then that's it. That's how your mind goes.
And that's why
Because
the
you get like people coming in to go like enter into certain industries. It's like acting. There's like they say, bro, you can find every motherfucker working as a waitress in
California.
Yeah, in California is a motherfucking because that's because white people are drawn in. It's funny because in London they have a similar culture, but then because there's what they call
Fit house.
vehicles, yeah, there's like yeah,
No, let me get this right there.
yeah, oh yeah, that one. Shakespeare's one. So that's why it has that allure. I don't even think they do
Yeah, the main ones I know, but I see.
yeah, over there. But then it's
I'm
like
right.
along the strip anyway. Because it's like I know there's when you get to like the Bankwood, it's like Pinky Boots or whatever is up there. Then there's like Wicked, there's Victoria, further down there's like one's been before Thingy was there. I don't know if it's still there, like Hamilton. But it's like there's that whole that's another world.
And it ain't even that deep.
Yeah, it's
Not that deep.
It's
Because
just,
I
it's just the
can
most.
bro, you go in, if I remember in school was see like, but even I know people that are doing station. Like, I know loads because well, the funny thing is they once you enter into a certain if you're in a certain niche in this city anyway, Jake, remember in the whole of the UK, you know, like black people are 2% of the population, right? 4.2%. It's a small number, it's a really small number. So small, like Birmingham, it's mainly the cities up and down the country. So it's like if you know people of a certain caliber, you all know each other. You go to the same, a handful of clubs, there's a handful of events, so everyone knows everyone. So it's like actors that just be like, I know this guy, I know this one. One guy that I know used to rap, I met when I was working in the Oxford Street years ago, and then he's doing viewing on EastEnders. I remember when I see him like that, oh, my mum watched EastEnders, and like, that's my man from yeah. And I got his number still now, buying other than him. Why would I would not. Funny enough, I didn't wait. But even now, other people I work with, they've been in recently that's been released. But that it doesn't mean, what does that mean? It don't mean it. But it just shows you how easy, how accessible these things are. And that's why even like there's an actor, he was in Black Mirror. I was doing a fucking that tirade. I'm gonna stop. But I'm just trying to show you how these things are just like they're there, they're there, everything is like, but and how easy it is to think if you come over here and actually achieve these type of things. But in reality, there's a thing known as a passing couch. You're only gonna get so far. Even all the people I'm mentioning aren't meant guys that I've worked with, met by chance, things like that. But for the most part, these people are running down in these countries and they get hoodwinked and fucking thrown into a fucked up predicament. You know?
Second Thessalonians 2:9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Yeah, that's really how you get essentially able to see the truth of the matter. Because when we're dealing with all these different little worlds, where you might be able to find fame, success, or be regarded as like on a godlike level. No, it's all, just, it's a pale reflection, man. None of it's of any significant substance or stature. When you get to the things that actually, matter, hold weight within within a reality. But essentially, when we come to the time of the end, the things that matter, those are things that are not regarded right now.
Hey, there's people, I hate to say that, even there's one guy bumped into me, and position he has is fucking brilliant. He bumped into someone, I saw him during the pandemic, and I've just seen him by chance, like a month ago. He's like, I don't live there no more, I've moved to another country, and I work as a creative director at a fashion brand. And I was like, fuck, you work there? It's like one of those things where, you tell someone, oh, by the way, my boy does this. You're like, oh, are you for real? Because it's one of those big brands that's big over here in the UK and over here in Europe. But the funny thing is, because all I was thinking is like, wow, it's the end. You just spend all this time dedicating yourself to getting this position, but you can't see that the world is coming to an end. All that shit ain't gonna do nothing. They're really striving forward. And even now, it's like, I know copious sums of people that are doing well. Former players, all of them have changed now, man. I was shocked. Fucking, like the good chokers looking like rappers and shit. Like they kick ball. It's like, you got done well for yourself. But the joke is they're going to be selling that shit in the heart. I hate to down, but that's the reality of it. Even if they don't sell it, at the end of the day, the world is coming to an end. Heavenly Father is about to magnify his name in a great manner, as he did in the time of Egypt. Right? So all these things that people are doing is vanity. Right? It feels like it serves to a greater purpose right now, but it don't mean nothing. You have people in the world, if they bump into you or you brothers out, whatever, what are they gonna say? They're gonna look down at you like, I ain't nobody like. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't going, to what's that place? There they get in the ocean. He ain't taking pictures. Why one specific no, because I know, when you see them pictures, everyone goes to the same place. When they go Brooklyn, they're gonna go to what's that extra place? Like they all go to the same place. I don't know. I just know because I see everyone to the same place. There's like a bucket list. You have to do this. You have to take pictures like that. And if you're not doing that, you're not really that. No one cares for you. But it's gonna be a time where the things that we know, what we represent, is gonna be the weight in gold compared to everyone doing that here now. As a brother said, Ukraine, there's things happening, things going on. That all it's going to do is bring, to an end to a thing.
But they might be saved. And that's it. Without the truth, that, you basically get caught in a weapon. When you come out into society, there's countless nets and snares and traps, webs of different worlds to get caught up in there. You might even get as far as with technology. People are looking at technology like, this is the next way. They're basically looking to become like the $1 million man. They're thinking, you're going to be getting cybernetic armed, you're going to be moving like jets with two fucking, still armed or whatever. But, what's the reality is that's a snare, man, that's a trap. That's a whole fool. What's it say? Verse 12, at 11, it says, for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, and that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. And that's really how the scales are. It's like, is it, dealing with the truth or not? But on the outside, whatever you're striving for, you put your effort into, what's ain't gonna be shit. Because why are you gonna? It's gonna ceremonies are about. They're basically trying to keep the prestige of their own, like what they built. And that's the same thing. Esau very much likes to keep the prestige of his kingdom system out of life.
Hey, that's why when you check out my come on, what's that movie? The award ceremony. We had when you had Ricky Gervais, and he made Oscars. Oh, sorry, he said Oscars. He had Oscars. Back away and back there. Moved around. She felt. I could just, when you see someone's body like this, she felt offended. I came from nowhere. Oh, because when you look at her, it's like, well, like, where of a bitch? Like, what the fuck? When people just like, the fuck? Like, when it's just funny. I shouldn't really mention, but it's just funny when you see birds. No, it's just because it's really the spirit though, because you see how people react to the sight of Jake bringing out the word, and it's just like, yo, like, something must have breathed off in his spine to talk to you and make you feel like, oh, I can't stand it. I can't, like, you had to move to the other side of the road just for the love. But that's my point. The presence of Jake in the spirit, which makes you feel like,
more than anything, that's
and that's why I'm saying it's the spirit. Because even before the talk told you about the word, right, trying to, son of art, cuts through marrow and things of that nature. It's just makes people just, fuck you up kind of thing. Alright? Let me read this. It's John 1:10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become sons of the Most High, even them that believe on his name. Right? And that shows you the key point of what would distinguish the ability for you to actually know Yahweh Shai, knowing his name. Right? In the book of Proverbs 30:4, it tells you what is his name, what is his son, thou canst tell. Right? Because that's the key. The example of that is shown with Moses, right? Jeremiah 16 and 15 tells you about 16, 14, 15 tells you about it being a day where it shall no longer be sent. The Lord liveth that brought the children of Israel out of Egypt. The Lord liveth that brought them out of the land of the north. Right? It's going to be a day where that's going to happen. When you compare the two, Moses, when he was, the Lord basically pulled them unto him for the salvation of his people, Moses basically inquired and said, what is the name that I'm going to go forward unto the children of Israel to say has done all this thing? And then he basically outlined and made it known that what the name that's going to be made will be the name Yahweh. Right? So just as kind of, those things that happen on past time happen in that fashion, also in this time it's going to happen in a similar accordance and fashion. Right? The Lord is going to make himself known in the same pattern. Right? As it's a great importance that it tells you his name. Right? So this is John 1:10. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. So let's even ponder on that. Guess what? No one being any sort of regard. Alright? Do a great thing. This is the thing our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai, suffered in his time walking upon the earth. And that's our master. And what did he say? The master is the servant is not greater than his master, but it be that the servant be as his master. So being as our master, we're going to suffer the same thing he suffered. Right? He came unto his own, and his own received him. And that's time even for us to ponder on as well. That in this time when we be with in his faith, he outlined that, I came come to set a man at odds with his family. Man's foes shall be those of his own household. Right? But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become sons of the Most High, even them that believe on his name. So that's the distinction. Those that believe in him, they're going to be ordained to be sons of the Most High. But all those things I outlined before, that is going to be the nature in which you're going to be living upon the circumstance you're going to be living in whilst you walk upon this earth. Right? Because why? You are a son of the Most High power. Right? That's why you're on everything this nation as well. But then everyone else is in accordance with it. They want to bow down to the beast. And nobody's going to come to a head of the book, that beautiful rice grain. Right? That seed is going to be the thing that's going to be, draw the line in the sand. Whereby you're down with the system, you're down with the beast, you're going to take his mark. Right? You're basically going to bow the head and bow the hand and say, look, I'll do whatever you say. Give me, as I told you in the book of Exodus 21, just as long as you give me everything, all my goodies, and I'm taken care of, I'm down with wherever you're going. We want to eat fly burgers, I don't care, man. Okay. Let's do that, right? You're going to be like Cypher. I don't want to do nothing. He just wants to eat that steak, all them chemicals to be engaged in his mind, and then for him to go down to his belly and get itis, and then get a young 40 to come suck his butt. That's what he wants, man. Alright? That's only what a lot of people are going to want when this time of hardship comes, when it comes to the hour of temptation to attack everyone upon the earth. Right?
So Isaiah 14:11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, the worms cover thee. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? But thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend unto heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mountains of congregation in the sides of the north. Yeah, this is essentially what, the boasts that's being made. This is the boasts that basically everyone out in the world is accepting them. I like the quote, like when it makes when the what you call it, the architect has a conversation with Neo. He says like the way they got the matrix running was they essentially make it like be a choice, even though it's only on a subconscious level. On a subconscious level, they have to accept, the society that we're going to partake in. And it's similar with them. But without, what do they say? To accept the program, they'll need to have it. Even if it's on a subconscious level, making a choice to accept it. It's like people are here. They accept, like that's why you have Jake, where they'll, you can tell from how they conduct themselves, they think that blacks are lesser. Yeah. You'll have people that come from other nations, I remember I can't remember what it was like interviewing Mars and Emma, and about how kids were raised over the UK or US, saying until after college age, they were wishing they were white the whole time. I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was like, bro, I was like, Australia, I was like, you guys need help.
But that's why they do this, that practice routine. Double eyelid.
Well, it's funny, right? Him having turn and Super Saiyan and having blonde hair wasn't even he wasn't even meant to have blonde hair. Just he didn't want to make it easy that he didn't have to color his hair. That was the only reason he left it empty. So in the original language,
we can really deal with the spiritual level of through the spirit.
I'm saying,
I know what you're saying.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah, because but I'm saying through the ad thing.
Oh yeah, I'm saying the animators would have. That's essentially what they're taking. What you're saying is what they did anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I'm just saying originally it was like it could have been taken any other way. But then that's where they took it. So that's why, because it was like the original. There was a movie they did before when they'd seen the base design of Super Saiyan. He had like yellow hair on, but he still had black hair because he hadn't done it fully yet. But then that's why it's like. That's what they decided to do with it. So it's like, look, it's the spirit, because like you said, the figures anyway, it don't even matter. Because when you deal with Super Saiyan, everyone knows, you've seen gifs of like man popping up in like NBA, then they'll put like the yellow hair, there's like the John Cena one, where he's got like the Super Saiyan. It's becoming iconic anyway, it represents it anyway.
Crazy like edits.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, those are just yeah. Come back with a kicker, yeah.
Wait. You can see the folks in the round. And then they
those ones are funny. They're like,
teeth. And then it's like, Super. Look at that type of thing.
yeah. But that's why it's like, because even for them, those video of one of and then it was, what was it? I think they were talking about something about learning from other cultures and blah blah blah. There was an Asian girl on there, and they showed like, oh yeah, I don't mess with Asian guys, blah blah blah. And then it was like talking about it for like 3-4 minutes. It was like, oh, so what do you think? She's like, oh, I like black guys, you know. And then she's talking about how, you know, like learning about black culture, blah blah blah, BLM. I was like, you know what? It's they just like want to latch onto something. There's a lot. That's the thing with a lot of, because with America, so that whole BLM is like something you can just kind of go into and feel, you know, warm fuzzy feelings inside. It gives you
a palatable way of palatable introduction to black people.
Yes.
Joshua 24:14, the back of your word. Now therefore fear the Lord Yahweh and serve him in sincerity and in truth, and put away the powers, you know, the idols, the gods, which your fathers served on the other side of the flood. Right,
there's been a hell of black people fighting someone.
There's always a battle. I think when I used to ride, there was one guy, down, there's a club in it. Oh yeah, I know where. I don't want to say it on the camera. Wait, come down there. And I knew I didn't want it because I just, like the little things I see the bike like, I said, nah, I know what kind. It's like even like, lo and behold, there was people there. Now I know what kind of character they are. Even one of them, he's fucked right. But like, they were there, and I just said, when I went with the way it was, I said, nah, you know you already, he thinks he knows more than you, but it's like, bro, I already know the kind of people that go over to the places. I grew up with people like that, so I know those kind of people. Anyway, let me read this. Joshua 24:15. And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord Yahweh, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your father served that were on the other side of the flood, the gods of the Amorites, in whose land you go. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord Yahweh. Right into a point in my thinking.
Yeah, that's really what's accepted. I read this. Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and man. Yeah, that's essentially it. Why everyone most people out there, they've accepted it. They're find Esau in their head, man. They're dealing with Esau like it's God on earth. It's funny because the flip side of that is they might find out certain things Esau does, but then they'll still, like his culture, his technology, whatever, there'll be various aspects of it where they'll still look at it like, yo, this is just so exceptional. But hey, that's the confusion Because they meant ban out white men, but then they'll deify white women and want Bigfoot, man. You see the guy, it's like, you see him with a Bigfoot,
I was like, that's
just the biggest, just like, he's got a big grin, that simple look on his face. He loses all testosterone, evaporates from his body. And it's just like, come on, bro. I'm like, I know this guy. So I know what you mean. But that's, hey, it's like that with various other cultures. It's not just Jake, it's global. All these different nations are looking like, yo. I'll read more in Isaiah 14. It says, Isaiah 14:15, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth tremble and that did shake kingdoms? Yeah. Just consider this. There was a point in time the Babylonians were being looked at like, yo, Babylonian rolled around. People were like, oh my God. No, it's them. They've come. Like, they'll be in terror. Yes, exactly. That's how fucked it is.
See, like, there was Americans back in Babylon, and the tsunami.
Oh my God. That's so fucking Babylonian. Yeah. But that's, hey, there was a point in time where people would tremble in fear, man. They're like, damn. They're bringing that in the Persians, the Medes. They would have been looked at like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Well, these guys can block out the sun, man. Like, how are you gonna, what are you doing? But then what would happen is, hey, the Lord through the Spirit can have them taken down anyhow.
Well, that's a fact. You know, Alexander the Greek, he basically wiped out the Persian Empire in a fashion that could never be, no one could even fathom, you know. But that was for the sake of what? Prophetic words in the Bible about a dirty rabbit. You know, I just have to rag on Esau. But, I think it's moving like around, full touch around, I haven't left the house. To basically show that what? This man will come into, power, wipe everything out in a short span of time, but then pass away, right? Set up the infrastructure in place to establish the rule for the coming kingdom for a prolonged period. Yeah, that's with well, that's why it's like now. They're basically, look, Esau's the one that has the prominence, but formerly there were other people in that spot, and then for that to shift, it shouldn't be such a mystery. Everyone's so caught up in the West. They're just like, damn, it's like, Esau comes down and says, oh, our ancestors like 600 million years ago, they used to walk on their hands. Oh my God. There's a handstandians.
The hats.
Yeah, handstandians. You have a who you need is a British Edomite.
Yeah, what's his name?
They were like black regular. You don't know what's here.
Yeah.
But like yes. So they used to sleep on their backs with their feet hanging just above their heads. And that's the position of sleeping. They'll be on their elbows. So they'll be on their elbows starting to sleep. Yo, people here.
I remember
coming on comment board or fucking Reddit friend back in this time, you have this record, and this is a picture from this age.
I remember
one of the scientists who drew it just to fuck you up, man.
I remember BBC Two, there was like 3D generated like TV show of like what it was meant to be how dinosaurs lived. And I watched it, I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9. And I'm watching this and I'm like, bro, how is it you're like pulling out a fucking a fossil, you're putting out a skeleton, and then you're telling me how they walked out, how they dealt with their youth. Like, what the fuck? I was like, this makes no fucking sense. I was like, you need to explain that to me, bro. So you found the niggas like dead, and then it's just like, oh yeah, why? No, he was actually shooting. Shooting an AR-15. Yeah, she was
I never listened to that. No couple of whole and everything. I had to go back and learn about Chicago. So I started listening to certain songs. I knew certain ones, but I heard that song and then there's a story behind it. So I was like, I get the vibe like it's aggressive. Because it reminds me of grime.
yeah,
It's got that same kind of energy.
grime was man, it looked like
sweating out in a club, man.
fully clothed, of course.
Yeah, with a tracksuit. And don't forget the new era, man. Shape in it. You sweat out. I remember you sweat out in the practice, and the sweat mask would never go away.
Yeah.
I remember you had the Nigerian I think one of the but I remember I was like,
Weird. What's wrong with you? Chapati.
Joe 13 and 4. But you are fools in your life. You are all physicians with no value. By the fuck.
Yeah, because that's essentially it's all caught in the mysticism, man. I'm like, bro, how you telling me? Yeah, you know when the hunter-gatherers used to go out and go cut the tree, and then I'm like, bro, it's like, bro, where you get this information from? They're like, and then it's like you go to them, oh well, you know, they'll basically deliberate on what was most likely. The thing is what they call evolutionary psychology. They'll just retroactively make up excuses for why people do things. That's essentially all it is. So it's like, if you're gonna do that, I'm like, bro, what? Like, how is that meant to? That's BS. You're just coming up with the best ideas you can.
Okay. I'll go one more scripture. Revelation 21. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold of the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, bound him for 1,000 years. This being the point, and cast him into the bottomless pit, shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be released. And he will feed them.
Deceiving the nation, that's a core component of Esau's attitude. Really, it's, you can see the deceit has gone to a superhuman level. Man. Like literally, within like the bounds, even with Bollywood, the bounds of this society is being retroactively reflected on everything that came before. People are thinking of women walking around talking shit or being like Robin Hoods or whatever, you know, like 1,300 years ago or something. They're thinking like the same relationship dynamics were popping off in that's you know, that's why they'll reflect like modern morals or whatever on things. I'm like, bro, it's like they'll talk about X, Y, Z, and I'm like, bro, you realize like their princesses being 13, they're forced off for their entire life, like to bind two families together. Like,
Even
shit
one of
was
the,
completely different like back then, bro.
that's why you have certain cultures that still do those kind of things.
Practice as well.
Yeah,
Cultural practice.
So even like I was gonna say, like even you had a more popular Spanish, forget it, their name was Algeria. One of the agreements they had is that they had to send them 100 virgins every year. That was just they were seducing women in mind that whoever they had in their society, their king, they had in mind that okay, this is what we have to be a tributary to the moon. And they would have it for they were a possession of two men. But now they've fought apart.
The Spartans, man, they'll like ship the little nigga around to the valley and just say, yo, survive, man, or don't. Like they'll the way the way warfare went down. You could be 12. They might it's what is it? Peasant armies. You would just be chilling, looking after growing your peas, growing your wheat, growing your whatever, growing your shoots, your strawberries or whatever the fuck. And then it's like if he went to war with a different man for something might be for a river, he's gonna be going to war for I don't know, man. He might have his daughter might have died, but he meant to marry and was going to place him. It's like, yo, fuck this. We're going to be linking up with this and then you have to go to war. You gotta have no gear. If you ain't gone out there and killed someone, then you're going out there with a stick. Like you'll be free. So it's completely different dynamic to today. Like today, it's like in South Korea, where they have mandatory military, because they're still technically at war with North Korea. They have the mandatory 2 years of military service. That's seen as like fucking wacky and out there. But there are points in time where you could have partook in multiple wars against your will. You could have been like 13, thinking, I'm going to go out there and blah, blah, blah. If some seasoned knight whose job is to go and decimate man in the field, you run upon that guy, he's done you.
Oh, yeah. There must be different feudal systems where it was all about, listen, even after Joshua, because I actually got a PDF, I need to read it. It's about the ancient customs. I got a PDF. They spoke about time, how they basically what they do is they go into the word, these scholars, and they basically apply the proverbs or different things that they do. They look at the secular history and things of that nature. They basically flesh out what the atmosphere would be like around the scriptures. So one of the points they spoke of was the word Gadal. You were worried about rape. They basically delve into the meaning of that word rape, how it changed over time. Like during the time of Joshua, the conquest of Canaan, the wars of Canaan, what happened was that word was equated to a warrior. Whereas time progressed, where they settled, a man of great wealth was basically equated to that same word. So it shows you through time, it changed. The point being that there was a time period where if you had mastery and skill with weaponry, a great example, the best example I could show is the time of King David, right? He was a man of war after the Most High's heart. So he would have shifted the whole dynamic of the culture of Israel, and everyone would have wanted to be a warrior. And that's why, think about it like this, that's why when you had the two sons that were going to take up after King David, you had Nathan, who was just like King David. They wanted him to rule, mighty, right? Because they wanted someone that was warish to continue in that step, all right? But they didn't understand the Most High had another plan in mind. That war period was set in place for a purpose, so that Solomon can come and build the temple of the Most High power, all right? Going with a certain type of motion, right? So then what wisdom, right? Even with your mind. And Solomon changed everything about it. Whereby when he assumed the throne and he made his first judgment, righteous judgment, yeah, he basically just, they couldn't fathom that, wow, like this guy, when he judged the matter, is just the only, everything would have thought. Because that really showed that he had a different kind of insight, right? And that angel was so great to the point where you had everyone in the various nations was flying down to come to Solomon and to hear him, right? So this is how it shows you the point. You agree that Yeah.
compared to now. The way things that people look at now, well, they don't realize the world's been completely different before. It's not the biggest mystery for this current civilization to end. There's nothing particularly exceptional and special about it. It should make it last forever. If anything, it's the inverse. Look at everything that's going on, you're like, how the fuck is it gonna last?
Yeah.
It's like the people within it don't even fucking like each other. Imagine. They don't even have to be a fucking a so-called black, so-called white person. There's someone who grew up in the Midwest, someone grew up in New York. They're thinking, oh, this fucking thing there. They're thinking this city stick in the brick. That's like
South.
yeah, there's that divide between the different cultures within the country. So it's like that alone. It's the same in London. It's like someone from London, someone from the Midlands or from the North. It's funny.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because where I live, there's a certain building there. And it's like I've realized it's like I'm sure people have just not how that. Like they're taking like all the big buildings for the organization. But the area it's in, you think like, oh, this is just like where it's like these have been left in the side of Easter with these certain societies. One day they're gonna pounce basically. So it shows you that the Heavenly Father, like, He's marked out these places that there's gonna come a time where everything's gonna be turned on its head, and it's not gonna be as it once was.
So I finish Isaiah 14. So it says verse 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All these are the things that now people look at as normal. So now imagine, you go back 20, 30 years ago, people would what the fuck? How much more so 50, 60, 100 people have been the same system? Then you go back to when these guys were in the war. People are like, yo, what the fuck was that? Imagine you took a gay type of dark ages into the modern day. They will go to war and to die honorable, man. Because otherwise you're gonna go insane, man. You're gonna lose your mind. But that's how, messed up. It says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through the sword that go down the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. You're going to have the other nations will receive their kingdoms back. They'll be able to establish themselves to a certain extent. But there's only Esau, only the so-called white man. His rulership is basically, this is it. He's going to have his time in the hardcore bondage. Then, it's going to be done.
Oh, go ahead. Feel free. Sorry, I thought you were... Yeah, we are. But if you got any questions, you can ask.
Because as far as his role is going to be served, man. He's basically going to be finished what he was set to do.
As it tells you in the book of Proverbs 16 and 4.
Proverbs 16 and 4, the Lord Yahweh hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Yeah. So the wicked was made for the day of evil. And the border of wickedness, that's what Esau, evil, so-called white. So with that, he's basically going to fulfill prophecy. It's going to basically, try and establish what that seed is, establish his kingdom forever. And then, the Yahweh is going to put a stop to it.
Mind if I ask you one question? What do you see is going on with finance, market, and the way the world is right now? aware of that in some way, shape, or form?
The ones that read stuff, I think that's evidence of stuff that's happened in the past. There's something else, I think that's probably not.
Okay.
What religion are you guys?
We're not a religion.
Oh, you know what? Okay.
We have a religion, but we're Israelites. So we believe, according to the prophecies in the Bible.
So you believe in the Bible?
Yeah, we believe in the Bible. We believe that we fulfill the prophecies in the book of Deuteronomy 28. That basically shows that we are the Israelites. God showed these people a sign. Because we fit all the curses. The present. Like, if you know the Bible, don't listen to what the Father said. Heavenly Father told them to do. They might have gone into state. So it's a common trend. Anyone who reads the Bible, they know, very aware that the whole book of Judges is basically them disobeying the Heavenly Father. They're getting put in slavery by Moabites, the Midianites, the Amalekites, all these different nations. And then they'll turn onto the Heavenly Father and deliver them. So in this day, it was prophesied that we discontinued from our heritage. We wouldn't know who we were. And that's happened today.
So what tribe of Israel did you guys start from?
Judah.
Okay.
But we're not, that's what we believe.
Through the sign,
Yeah.
the locations of the tribes, that's like for the bulk. But then there's also those who are scattered, those who are dispersed. So you're going to have Israelites who come from other parts.
Jewish is a misnomer. Basically, the word, if I told you your jacket or your shirt is whitish, what color is it? Interpret it as.
My jacket.
If I said your t-shirt was whitish, how would you take that? There you go. If someone said something's whitish, that would mean that it's kind of white. It isn't actually white, it's kind of white. The so-called Jews, they're not Jews. Funny enough, last week or the week before we had some come up, Argentinian Jews, as they say. Then I asked them, what tribe are you? And they were like, they didn't know. They said, we're Levi. And it was like, Levi is the poor ones, aren't they? So no, Levi is the rich one. They're the priests. All the nation had to pay them. They were rich. They lived in the prime locations in all of the lands of because you had the Levites dispersed in they didn't have a land of their own. So they had cities, towns within every tribe.
So the 12 tribes come from the 12 sons of Jacob.
That's right.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
And Abraham was Jacob's father?
No, he was the grandfather. Then Isaac was the father of Israel.
Abraham had Isaac and Ishmael.
Jacob.
And Isaac had the 12 children.
Fair. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
Abraham and
he said Ishmael, they were brothers.
Ishmael was the firstborn from the Sarah.
Abraham,
Isaac was the one the promise went down.
And then the promised one was from Sarah, his wife.
Yeah.
So that was Isaac. And then Isaac had Jacob, and Jacob had the 12 children.
Yeah.
So basically, like I was saying, those so-called Jews, they've been told they're Jews. So much so, they just run with it, and they don't even know. And like, it's so bad now, they don't even know what tribe they are. They ask them where's Ephraim, they don't know what Ephraim is.
They took up the worship. They followed after the worship that was done by the Israelites. They were, during the time, if you go into this book, 13 tribes, it goes into the history of how during the time of the David and around like 9,000 I'm born. 600 AD, the timeline, the books.
Oh no, the books,
I'm saying like the period of time it's kind of into when they took up, well, essentially when those people interacted with them and they were called referring to themselves. That was something that happened through the process of time. They basically took on the form of worship, and it's now in they're essentially historically thinking of themselves as Jews. And that's something that even in the Bible happened. You had a town, Samaria, where there was a portion of Cushites. Yeah,
Samaritans.
where they'll basically put in that land and then they'll get cursed. So they had a Levite given over to them to teach them to follow the laws. So because they followed after the laws, they thought down the line, years down the line, they thought they all had the same origin, the same fathers. They basically thought they came out of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, even though their origin was from somewhere else. That's the second word.
So you guys class yourself as Israelites.
The whole Bible.
The whole Bible.
Let me just read this phrase. Zechariah 9 and 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashton. Right? A bastard is from my fathers, right? So basically saying the people that dwell over there on the coast of the state of Israel, Ashton, they're bastards. They don't have no father. They're not true Israelites that pertain to the Bible. So it's a prophecy. This is a prophetic word that those people over there have been put over there. Just like the brother mentioned before, you had the Cushites moved over there. They were moved over there under the Balfour Declaration to be Jews. Alright? But then you said to our point, we believe in the Bible in its entirety. This is why. Yes, but we believe in each other. Because when you open the Bible, yeah, all of that. But we don't believe that. We don't believe in the immaculate deception, as we say, because when you read the Bible, if you understand the Hebrew and the prophecy, Mary had sex with Joseph, and it basically breaks it down as Joseph basically was espoused to her, meaning engaged with Mary, but that child of the Holy Ghost, right, basically the fact that before the coming together, before the marital arrangement was meant to happen, they were having sex. And I know a lot of people that would be crazy because that Virgin Mary, no, he basically was having sex with her before the marriage. That's the Bible. And that's why he said he was mindful to put her away. He basically was mindful to be like, okay, before we get married, I've got to hide her. So when we get married, no one will know that she's pregnant. But the point being is that those kind of things, the main reason why we know this is when you go into the book of Isaiah, it basically tells you about a young woman. The word there in the Hebrew is alamah, which basically means a young woman, not a virgin. The word there for virgin is buffalo, right? Which basically means a virgin.
It's two separate definitions.
Yeah.
When you talk about someone who's never known a man, you use buffalo. When you talk about young marriage age, you use home. So that's as far as for us,
Joseph. Because the lineage is in Matthew, the first chapter.
And you also believe that
Yeah, but he's the Messiah for the children of Israel. We could wrap it like Matthew
and then
1.
who do you believe God is?
He's the Most High Power.
And do you know the name?
We know the name.
You don't say them.
Oh no, we say the name.
Oh, you do?
You have to pray his name. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh. Yahweh. That means he to me.
Okay, so also, Yahweh is that the same name?
That's a bastardization of Yahweh.
Right, okay.
Because it's a play on the tetragrammaton.
Okay, yeah.
There's
so
no
wait,
E.
it was an Aramaic, right?
No, it's an Hebrew.
No, that it was Aramaic when
Aramaic goes back to Aram.
Right.
You know, the 5 sons of Shem?
Yeah.
You have
Abednego and...
no. You're talking about Daniel. Talking about the 5 sons of Shem is Aram.
It's Abednego.
Elam. No. That's because you're talking about Daniel. It's how can I remember these 5 names? Elam, Aram, Ashur, and Lod, and then the one that had the birthright was
the one who gave up his birthright?
no, he had the birthright. He was the big birthright.
Oh, right.
Fatsa, that's it. So those are the 5 sons.
So you still believe that God's name is in the Bible, from the Old Testament, and then you believe that it's
Yahweh.
Which is also people say Yahweh, but that's not the book.
Aram, Aramaic is the language of the Aramites.
Okay, so you believe that Jesus is a God?
No,
You do.
no, it's not God. Because when he was on the cross, he said, he's praying to himself. So that means that
when it was the
they're
night
separate.
of when he was his final night, like when he went to
He
the
prayed
Garden of
3 times.
Gethsemane, he prayed to God.
And
he
the angel was
basically-
sent for him.
And he was basically pleading with God to give him strength so he could go through with it.
So that shows you
Now,
they're
why
2
would he
separate.
pray to someone else if he could give himself strength and he
So you
God
believe the
himself?
same thing,
I
right?
believe that he's
Yeah.
not God.
Yeah.
These are all wild Christian doctrines.
If you read the Bible, and in Psalms 83, I'm not talking about the latest version, I'm talking about the original version of the Bible. If you look at Psalm 83, it clearly says what God's name is, and Jesus never said that.
Talking about John.
Jesus never ever said that he was God. Always prayed.
Well,
his Father in
what
heaven.
he said is what people get misconstrued. Like in the book of John, the 10th chapter,
So I agree.
Psalm 82 and 6, where it says, I have said, ye are gods, but ye shall die as men. Now, the word God, a lot of people have argued from this, but the word God, as we know in English, there's multiple definitions. Because there's the Hebrew, whereby in the Hebrew, sorry, you have Elohim, or the word Allah, right, which is also borrowed in Arabic. Because Arabic is, a form of Hebrew. It's like a cousin language to Hebrew. Now, what it basically means, Allah basically is God or power. So you have Elohim. Allah means God, Ha means the, and Yam means plural. So it means the gods. So it says that we are lesser gods. We're powers, but we're not the most high God. So there's a power within the truth. Even this name, Israel, goes back to the Hebrew Yah Shah Allah. You or he is a prince of God. So a prince of God is son of God. He's the son of the Most High. So there's a Most High God, but there's a lesser God.
So the lesser God is
The Israelites. How did Israel get his name? You remember? In the book of Genesis, he was
changed the
taking
name
his,
and said, from now on I'm
but
change the
how
name
it
to
happened
this
was
Israel.
he was putting his children across he's running away, he's going to meet his brother Esau, and he had these people going forward in companies. He set his children with their mothers. They went over the body of water, I can't remember what body of water was, and he was left by himself. And an angel came, and he wrestled the angel. The angel, one angel could destroy the whole earth. The power of an angel is great power, right? But what wound up happening was the angel only managed to pop his hip bone out of the socket. When they carried on wrestling to the night, then he said, let me go. And he said, not unless you give me a blessing. And the blessing was, you shall no longer be known as Jacob, because really that name had been fulfilled, supplanter. But he took the birthright of his brother Esau. That's it, yeah. And the meat. But then ultimately he gave him a new name in Israel, which was for Israelites, which means that act really embodied that name, that he wrestled with an angel, showing that he had that same level of power. It really shows you all these people there, they have power in that right too. Right?
So what about the lost tribe of
The lost tribe of Israel is all these people. Yeah, because they're lost now. But the way they make it seem is they talk about, not even really they say that they're Judah tying back to the prophecy in 2 Corinthians 13, where it talks about a guy on the other side of the water and then being taken away and brought back. But that's talking about the so-called Indian tribes. The Indians from the so-called Indians from the South, Central and South America. So when you deal with it, it's like Simeon is the Dominican. Zebulon, Guatemala is down to the Panamanians, east from the Puerto Ricans, so on and so forth. These are the children of the Most High.
So what do you think?
Now, this is the reason why we're here. We're here to make sure we've got to bring our scriptures to the park. Bring out. Basically,
I'm
the
just going to
reason
check
why,
my phone.
that's fine. But the reason why we're here to basically prophesy about the temple. Alright? Get up Isaiah 24:1. Unless you got something else. Get me what. Because it's a scripture that we just spoke. I mean, we're talking edifying. Let's go, bro.
Matthew 24. So I'll
Are
stop
you guys
there.
filming?
Yeah.
Matthew 20. That's the point. So Matthew 24:13. He that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
And that's why we're doing it.
So the name of your religion is
If you want to call it the name of a religion,
so you must have
we
like
just follow the Bible. It's not.
okay. So you don't have like
I know there's in the modern day era,
Okay.
everything
Everyone
has
has
names
names,
and labels.
But
We're just God's people, and we just have to worship the
do
Heavenly
you
Father.
worship from home? Or do you
No,
worship
this is how we worship. We worship.
different?
There's
How
high
do you
holy
guys
days.
conduct that?
There's things that we pray. We don't eat certain foods. When we eat, we worship the Heavenly Father. But in terms of the way you understand worship today, the book of Acts 7:48, you got to go up. Like it tells you that the Lord, the Heavenly Father said, heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house shall you build me? So it tells you, the Lord basically outlined that where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there I am in the midst. So we basically, when we do this, go ahead,
Ecclesiastes 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. That's what we're doing. Fear the Most High and keep His commandments. The first 5 books, and that's actually basically given us a law, which is the structure of how we do it. And then we've been given permission from essentially coming into this faith through Yahushua, the world called Jesus. We've been given a mission. Why as well? We go out, preach, push the word out the word.
and that brings us to the point, the reason why we're here, is ultimately to outline the prophecies of the Bible, right? To really make it know, to make it know. Hey, this is the other thing. We're here to gather the Lord's chosen people, because in these last days, the Heavenly Father has an elect, right? As I mentioned to you before in the book of Judges, he always, really, I go to Egypt. Egypt, he gathered all of his people, took them out of Egypt. But then throughout Exodus, he cut down the numbers of the people, because not all of them believed. Now, taken from that experience back then, he only has an elect, a chosen number of believers that are just never going to walk out of the way. That's why you read in the book of John, he said, none are lost but the son of perdition. But those that you've given me, they're in my hand and they can't be plucked out. So basically, there's a chosen number, all right? So we're here to basically preach his word and basically gather in the chosen. That's why when you deal with the Lord, what did he speak of in the book of Matthew, the 13th chapter? He said, unto you is given, so he that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Unto you the kingdom is given, but to them is not given. Right? But basically, he said I basically made them dull of hearing. Look, they can't. See how you stopped?
Yeah.
The whole day we've been there, no one stopped.
Oh really?
So this is how the word works. So the point is, we're here to gather the chosen of the Heavenly Father, starting with these people out here. But then also what's happened is part of the curse, the book of Deuteronomy is that the Heavenly Father has scattered his people all over the earth. Yeah, Isaiah 11. Oh, go ahead.
John 10:27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. We're essentially fishers. Oh, I'm getting off. We're essentially fishers that are out here. We're frying out bait. Us,
Bait being the word.
Yeah, the word we're pushing out. That's the bait.
So you've bitten onto the bait. So now this is where we determine, all right, whether you be clean fish or unclean fish, meaning whether you're fit for the kingdom. Now the point being is that in saying that, as I was saying, scattered, all right. So you have what country are you from?
My ancestors are from India.
India. So that would be that land pertains to India, as you know, is a name that was given by the so-called white man, right? Actually means savage, right? In their language, I believe it's in the Greek, right? But the true Indians, the East Indians, or that of Elam, all right? Descendants of Elam, which means useful. So that you're Shemitic people, funny enough. So when you can't be anti-Semitic, right? For one, if you are Elamite. Now the other thing is the fact that you have I can tell you have an affinity for the Bible, right? There's something that's drawn you to the Bible, I guess, right? That is a means to say possibly you are one of these people, because that book, there's an energy, there's a power tied to it, and only the Heavenly Father's people really are privy to it, right?
Hebrews 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High.
Now, what is the Spirit? The Spirit, John 6:63, it tells you that, I always forget this, there's a Spirit that quickeneth, the words I speak unto you, they are spirit and life. So basically, this word, the Bible, that's the Spirit. All right, so it tells you, read it again.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit.
So the Bible bears witness with our spirit, all right? Spirit in you,
that we are the children of the Most High.
that we are the children of the Most High. So your drawing to it is one thing, but also ultimately what it is as well is a prophetic word. So like I said about the curses, right? Like, you know, they make fun of black people saying that we aren't raised with our fathers. That's a curse in the Bible. All right, black women are loud and obnoxious. It's a curse in the Bible. Like a lot of the stereotypes that are trying to our people, those are part of the curses that the Heavenly Father put on us. All right. Like even in India, you have a set of people known as the untouchables. The cities, am I right in saying? What's the other name? There's another word, but the untouchables. You understand? They say they were slave descent, that they were shipped over there to be slaves. They'd be pertaining to the children of Israel. But it doesn't. The buck don't stop with them. There could be people sitting up in, you know, high rises and offices that actually are children of Israel as well.
Right. Deuteronomy 45. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee.
Pursue thee and overtake. Like, no matter if you try out run these curses, they're gonna come knocking. They're chasing you down. Right.
Till thou be destroyed, because thou hearest, hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which are commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed from heaven. So yeah, they're a sign. It's basically a mark. That's the point. So you know, how do we identify who these people are? This is how these nations come together. It's Judah, the so-called Negro, the so-called blacks, like the brother mentioned. The way the women behave, you know, there's various aspects. You know, we can go into it in a second. The other point that made it was this verse, so the same chapter, verse 64, it says, and the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth, even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So you're going to have those counted among the number. That's why we got the sign. Then like we read, there's other Israelites that we scattered, but we outside of them.
Isaiah 11.
Oh, so yeah, I was going to hit that next.
I know you might have to go.
I need to go.
Just
Okay,
read
our last one.
Last
This
one,
one
thanks.
is
It's
you're
nice
in
to
the
talk to
scripture.
you guys.
You're in the
so-
scripture.
You're in the
That's why.
scripture, that's why. So Isaiah 11 and verse 11, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people." So there was a scattering and then there's a gathering. And this is mentioned multiple times, and it happened multiple times. Egypt's an example. They were scattered among Egypt, then they were gathered. Then when in Israel, they were taken captive by various nations and gathered back together. The next big one will be Babylon, Assyria. Okay, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of the people, which shall be from Assyria and from Egypt."
Syria being modern day Syria region, that area, Egypt,
And from Paphros and from Cush,
Kush being with Ethiopia,
and from Elam. So from India. It said there'll be those scattered among India. We could, if we didn't have time, go to Acts.
Elam
Elam.
is part of India.
Yeah. Because that's the root. the
That's
heritage.
why even like the Persians, they were known as Elam before as well. They pertain to the same nationality, Iran. Some will say they're Arab. No, they're part. They pertain to Ethiopia. If you're Elam, they pertain to you, but if you're Israel, that's a region scattered. But just something to walk away with. The end is near, and it's going to be signified by 3 key prophecies. Alright? First one being the mark of the beast, being an RFID chip. They want to implant everyone with RFID chips. Either, if you don't have that, you cannot operate in society. It's going to be like movies in time. It's going to be like just all dystopian movies you can think of, where you can't buy or sell, say, that have the mark. That's the RFID chip. After that time, alright, that's the time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, out of temptation. Then it's going to follow by World War III. America's going to be destroyed. And guess what? All these European nations, which are known as NATO and the EU, that are part of NATO and the EU, that's part of the peace system, they're going to flip and turn on America, and they're going to throw their missiles on America and destroy it. That's the lake of fire spoken of in the book of Revelation. And the last one, UFOs, UAPs, those are the chariots of God. You know when it speaks of in the book of Exodus that the Lord went by in front of them as a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, UFO. And remember when the time of Pharaoh was chasing them, the cloud went between them and made it light on the children of Israel and the dark on the Egyptians. So when you read Zechariah 5, it tells you about the UFOs being a sign. So you see they're talking about UFOs now. They finally come out and they're real. That's because they're gearing up all the people to want to fight against the aliens, when really it's God sending the Most High Yahweh, sending his son. And then that's when the Lord's going to come back and beam up his elect. Just remember in Acts, the 1st chapter, remember the Lord went up? There was 2 men in white apparel. Said he went up, the cloud received him and took him away.
Oh, yeah.
Acts the 1st chapter.
Yeah.
After he told him 40 days and 40 nights and things that happened, then he said while he spoke, the cloud received him and took him away. And the 2 angels come and said, "Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye great looking up? This same Yahweh Shai, is his true name, Jesus is included. This same Yahweh Shai shall come back in like manner." So that's the 3 key prophecies.
In Revelation 1, 2, behold, he
Come
comes
from clouds, and every eye shall see it. So that's what's on the agenda. You this day have received the truth. You choose what to
Sure.
obey.
I was just going to say, like, I believe in a lot of stuff that you believe in. I don't believe that Jesus is God, because he never said he was God.
Yeah.
So, and I believe in Yahweh, Jehovah, or
Well, there's
how,
one
how
name,
you
this is
pronounce
the thing.
it. But
Yahweh.
Yahweh, so I believe in him. And also, have you actually seen the real Mount Sinai videos on YouTube, or
The real,
Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia?
I haven't seen it, no.
So this has been in the Telegraph a few years ago.
Yeah.
The doctor found the real Mount Sinai in Saudi Arabia, and it's always been known that that's the mountain of Moses by the local patrons
Okay.
for thousands of years. The governments in the local region have always known that as well. And they found a rock which is literally cut in half. So they got like
Where
scientists.
the water comes from, basically.
So they got scientists to look at it, and the rocks in front of the water, and on the sides, they said on the sides they're rough, directly in front where the water would have been coming out the split, they're really smooth, so there would have been water flowing down at one stage. And also at the top of the mountain is wet, because there was a fire after Moses came down with the commandments. And also the menorah on one of the rocks. You know what menorah is? That's in the temples.
Yeah.
And there's a very first sort of picture of a menorah from 4,000 years old. On the rock, someone's done it. There's 12 wells of water for the 12 tribes of Israelites. Because in Exodus, it says that there would be 12 wells for the 12 tribes. They're in that region. And also, on the exact opposite side is Egypt. So they came from Egypt. That's what the Bible says, that they left Egypt. And then they went into the area of Midian, where they got the commandments from. Because they sent divers in the water, and they found chariot wheels, they found 300 horse bones, they found humans, and they found a lot of stuff. If you ever get a chance,
I'll check it out. I think I've seen it. I think I've
might
seen
see
it.
it as well,
go on YouTube and just put,
Because I know which one.
New
It's
Ava-
a couple years ago.
put New
Yeah,
Ava
I've seen it.
Beach,
Yeah.
put New Ava Beach footage, Egypt, and then put the real Mount Sinai, Saudi Arabia, and you'll see all, and it's quoted with the scriptures from it.
Just to say as a point, that's in the Bible. You want to look at Jeremiah. It says there'll come a time where they'll set out the bones of prophets. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But basically, these things
But you, honestly, you should really look
I
into it.
know I've
Please,
probably
I've
seen it.
I thought it was like a
it's-
good 15-20 minutes listening to you
No,
guys.
no.
But just spend
I
5
will
minutes
check it out.
looking at it, because it is to do with the Old Testament.
Well,
It's-
I'm just
it's to
saying
do
that
with-
I've probably watched it because
Yeah.
I know that I've been dealing with this for years and years
Yeah.
and years. Some information you watch it, then you just forget about it. And you
But
watch
this
it, and
is
you're like,
so real, you would never forget about it.
yeah, definitely.
Because
I'll check it out.
I remember
Right
the shots,
there,
the
and there's a
chariot
massive rock which is split. And it's basically the real Mount Sinai, Saudi Arabia. And
Yeah.
they've checked everything. They've found 12 wells.
Yeah.
The local Bedouins for 4,000 years always called the Mountain of Moses. And then they found a big, like, rock. And on the rock, the Israelites of that time engraved menorahs on one side, and on the other side they engraved calves and bulls.
Yeah.
Because when Moses was on the mountain,
Oh yeah. for
the local
island.
people made
Yeah,
gold,
Aaron,
Aaron
yeah,
and
yeah.
his followers, and they made a gold bull or a calf.
You know what the new
to
calf is,
believe.
right?
No,
It's the folding chair.
no, I haven't done that. So, no, but
It's a
honestly,
joke, yeah.
have a look at that. And,
I'm not dissing you. I'm looking.
no,
at
but
it.
have a look at that. And then on there, people have engraved calves on there. So they believe that is where they would have made a gold calf of the top. But just
Yeah,
10
check it
minutes
out.
and look at it on
I'll check it
YouTube.
out.
It's all over YouTube. And the local government in Saudi Arabia have known about this for years.
Yeah.
They've put fences all around this place because it's a holy site for them as well. And they've put signs saying this is a holy site, trespassing will not be allowed, which is good because it's a holy site for them as well, so it belongs to them. But this is just to say that it's a real place. It's a real place,
Ask
not
a question
fake.
before you go.
Yeah.
I just had that. Would you take the mark? Yes or no?
The mark?
Mark of the beast.
No.
Okay.
Why would only be a beast for? No. No. I believe in God and I believe in the same God as you do.
Okay. All right.
So God bless. Thank you. Thanks for your
all right.
time. All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Take care.
Are you guys on YouTube or?
Yeah, we're streaming on YouTube right now.
What's the channel?
GMS Quickening.
GMS Quicken.
GMS Quickening. Like
Quickening.
quicken. You know, like
Quicken.
quicken.
Quickening.
Quickening.
GMS Quicken. Okay.
Good
All right,
man.
take care, man.
Good man.
It's funny because I kind of know. You know when certain things go over people's heads? It's like you say something, it's like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. Don't think it was what. I was gonna get pretty anxious too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he was
That's it.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily
I understand it because you know when you like come in and it's like
just like
it's esoteric wisdom,
Yeah.
but it's like, bro,
that's just
yeah, it's kind of like
bring the worries.
yeah, then like
Well, there's a thing she should focus on. But yeah. Should we thingy? Should we close up?
yeah, sign comes with all the folding chair. You know, Jacob made that an idol. Bro. That's how idols come about. The sign happens and then it's like, yes, this is it. He's got power. You're gonna have niggas with gunfire with chairs, man. You're gonna be summoned in iron, you know, they're like He-Man. By the power of skull. You're gonna think they can bat someone to death. Yeah, Grayskull, that's what it's like, nigga, like, man just put some holes in. Be the power of Satan. Putting some holes in. But yeah. Lord willing, you've edified. So the lesson for this week. Lord will be out next week by the power and spirit of God. With that, we say, all praises to Yahweh. Double honor to the apostles and those who bring us on the world. Shalom to the whole elect. Shalom.